From Chesapeake, Virginia, WHKT presents Sports Scene. Sports Scene features local, regional, and nationally acclaimed guests and excellent interviews. Follow Sports Scene on Twitter at Greg Bick. Now here is Greg Bicouvaris.
All right, thank you very much, Joe Daniel. Glad you're with us. We are live as always, October 11th. Sports Scene is an interview show each Wednesday from 12 to 1. Also watch sports highlights on nnpstv.com. Tell your friends about gjbtv.com. Twitter at Greg Bick, and you can see the rest of my Twitter handles on gjbtv.com in the contact section. Thank you to our military. Guest lineup presented by Outback Steakhouse in Kempsville. Sponsors on gjbtv.com, marketplace sponsors, and HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Phone line presented by Mi Casita Mexican Restaurant with 2 locations in Virginia Beach. Show presented by HRSMHOF.com. Major League Baseball postseason, of course. You got the Nationals and the Cubs. You got the Yankees and Indians. The NFL's in full swing. College football. Old Dominion really needs to rebound quick. Heritage versus Warwick, weather permitting, live on nnpstv.com on Friday. Great interviews, business segments, highlights, commentary, what teased me off. Thank you for making the habit of listening to Sports Scene weekly, and we love our regulars and newcomers. Sports Scene will continue on 1650 AM, 92.5 FM, tunein.com after these messages.
Interact with Sports Scene on Twitter at Greg Bick. Email bicogb@hotmail.com. Now back to Greg Bicouvaris in the HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com studios. It's now time for Greg's Highlights, presented by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com.
All right, again, special thanks to the encore interview with Tony McGee, former Redskins great right there. Of course, the Redskins looking to play the 49ers this Sunday at Fox on the 1 o'clock hour. Little Tokyo Buffet is open, hibachi noodle soup, as well as sushi bar, buffet bar in Hampton. Give them a call at 325-8286, 49 West Mercury Boulevard. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Delicious food. Congratulations again to Little Tokyo Buffet in Hampton. Of course, highlights as well. We'll start off with a question presented by Buffalo Wild Wings and Newport News to Joe Daniel. Of course, do you consider yourself a social person when running errands, chatting with customers or workers when you and your wife and kids are together, or are you pretty much all business?
I don't consider myself a social person in general, and I know it may seem kind of strange, hey, the guy's on the radio, but no, I'm not a very social person, so I'm very much A to B. Just get me in, I pick up my stuff, and get out. I don't like conversing. I'm not the type to open up and talk to people. That's just me. And I mean, I know that
is your wife the opposite?
She's much more cordial with people. She will actually entertain conversations. I just had a haircut the other day, and they were trying to talk with me. I'm just like, yeah, trying to keep it short, and I'm just not.
You don't want to do a talk show while you're out. Okay, I got
exactly.
you. I'm total opposite, but there's days like I'm like you. I'm very private. I think anybody in radio or TV or people out there in the public have to be more guarded than most. It's just the nature of the business. Of course, gjbtv.com. Hit the YouTube link for archive shows as well. Save the date each Wednesday for Sports Scene from 12 to 1. HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Browse, shop, visit, bookmark it. And, of course, the 3 great websites, gjbtv.com, HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com, and HRSMHOF.com. We also have a new show today coming up from 1 to 2, once a month on Wednesday, Stratford Today. Stay tuned for that. Joe Daniel always loves those frequencies, my friend. 1650 AM, 92.5 FM, and tunein.com. Type in WHKT to listen on your phone or your computer. Also want to thank our good friends at Buffalo Wild Wings. Great place to watch the NFL and postseason baseball as well, right there in Newport News. Phone number 249-3999 at 12150 Jefferson Avenue. Excellent food there. Go by and see the great staff every day at Buffalo Wild Wings. Excellent appetizers, wings, boneless, traditional, salads, burgers, wraps, sandwiches, tenders and macks, beverages, Sweet Spot, Little Buffaloes. They've got it all. Wall-to-wall TV, wings, beer, sports at Buffalo Wild Wings in Newport News. Phone number again is 249-3999. Late night TV, great wings, great burgers, great appetizers. with all your friends at Buffalo Wild Wings next to Patrick Henry Mall in Newport News. Postseason baseball, my thoughts. The Nationals always are contenders during the regular season. It's about time they show face in the postseason on the road and show who they are. Strasburg's not pitching because he says he's under the weather. Well, look, this is possibility of an elimination game for the Nationals. All hands on deck. To me, they're never going to be taken seriously until they do something in the postseason. The Yankees have come back from almost the dead to tie up the Indians. Congratulations to them. They are showing heart. They are showing resiliency, and all the best to both teams, the Yankees and the Indians as well, of course, in postseason baseball. A lot of fun in October. Stay tuned. We'll be back after these messages.
You are listening to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris. Now, back to Greg.
And welcome back to Sports Scene, live right here at 1238, 1650 AM, 92.5 FM on this October 11th. Hard to believe. My birthday was a month ago today, but still the month is moving on. The weather's still muggy. Hard to believe in October. Our good friends at Panera right there at 6255 College Drive in Suffolk. Go by and see the great staff that they say 100% clean on all their items, no artificial preservatives. They deliver. They do catering as well as a rapid pickup option as well. Their address is 6255 College Drive in Harborview. 483-3670 is their phone number. Open 7 days a week for breakfast, lunch, dinner, a little late night too. Soups, sandwiches, salads, breakfast, beverages, bagels, smoothies, all at Panera in Harborview in Suffolk. Food as it should be. For more, go to PaneraBread.com. Let's welcome my regular monthly segment with George McClain. He's the owner and general manager, firearms instructor for the Marksman. How are you, George?
Doing well, Greg. How are you today?
Very good. It seems like every time we talk to you, there's always some type of current events in the news. And first of all, I mean, 9/11 was bad, but have you ever seen anything like that in Vegas? I personally stayed at the Mandalay Bay in 2016, but that was a major, major catastrophe.
Well, it's sad. It's sad when you see it, and you pray to God this kind of thing never happens. But mankind just gives us example after example that there's some deranged individuals out there.
Absolutely. Now, I know your store does not sell bump stocks. Tell us, who has access to bump stocks? What are bump stocks? Does the military have access to them? Do police have access to them? Who's got access to this?
Well, basically anyone that is of legal age to own a rifle, can own a bump stock. If that's what they, how they want to take it out and shoot it. I guess it's a workaround for the fully automatic deal. It doesn't have the same speed, but it has near the same speed. Yeah, so I guess you have to really get in to why people want something. It's typically from a sporting shooting standpoint, but we all know that even things used for sport can be misdirected and used, in other things. But, it all comes back. Everyone wants to always, hammer the guns, but if I take a golf club and I kill someone with it, that has just become an assault weapon. So the fact that any rifle is called an assault rifle, that's kind of a misnomer from the beginning, but it had its roots in the military, absolutely, as, most, I say most, not all weapons did. There's been a lot of weapons that had their roots in hunting, and the caliber was a popular caliber, and in the military wanted something adapted that would work on the battlefield and shoot that particular caliber. Yeah, so it always puts you up in the air. Is there a need for it? No, there's not. But you know what? There's not a need for motorcycles either. There's not a need for tennis rackets. So where do you start drawing the line and say, well, but tennis rackets, golf clubs aren't normally used to kill people, but they have been. And I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but anything that you can think of out there that we don't really need, that we want, it can be used, and in probably some cases has been used to be a weapon. Now, I know what everyone's saying. Yes, but this person killed 58 people, and that's exactly right. And put I don't know that I ever got a final number of individuals hospitalized, but if it wasn't 500, it was daggone close to 500. Mm-hmm. And you can't do that with a tennis racket. I understand that, but here's the people with that type of mentality that's going to that wants to hurt that many people. There's ways that they can do it, and in fact, when police searched this guy's home, they found tannerite, which really is an explosive replacement. It's for war games and stuff, and it'll blow up things when you shoot into it, so it makes it look like it's got a lot of stuff there. He had fertilizer there. Yeah, so I'm just waiting for fertilizer and diesel fuel to be outlawed. That's obviously that's not going to happen. It's been used in too many other places for other things. It's just when you have the bad guy out there that has a little bit of knowledge of chemistry and some of this other stuff, and of course Timothy McVeigh used just that recipe to blow up part of Oklahoma City. You can't. You can regulate sanity and evil all you want to, but the only people that you're going to be successful with are those who are already sane and those who are not evil. The bad guys, they don't care about the laws. You make all the laws you want to, and all you're doing is affecting the law-abiding people. The people that you want to affect has no effect. Yeah, so it's
right.
It's a quandary, I don't know that I have the answer to it. The answer to it is not the confiscation of guns. Take a look at Australia. They have already done that, and look at their crime rate since they did that. Rapes are up, murders up, thefts are up, violent crimes up. So is that the area? Is that the route, the path we want to go down? I don't think so. Right.
We're talking to George McClain, the owner, general manager, firearms instructor for the Marksman. Don't forget Military Mondays and First Responder Fridays. Additional 20% off your discounted range fee. To receive discount for Military Monday, you must be active reserve, retired, or a veteran with a valid ID. To receive discounted for First Responder Friday, you must be active volunteer or retired LEO, fire, or EMT with a valid ID as well. Their location is in Newport News as well. At the address is 520 Industrial Park Drive. Phone number is 872-4130. George McClain, the owner of the Marksman, talking about gun safety. Now, one thing too about this, George, is not only was it a negative, horrible, dramatic experience for the entire area of Nevada and Las Vegas and the country, but this also puts people on guard for going to the Marksman and going to places like that to protect their families.
Well, I just hope they come for the right reason, and that right reason would be for training to either purchase a firearm, but to learn how to use it first. We've got firearms to rent and firearm instructors available, so you can come in. If you're a novice, rent, take a pick from several different firearms, work with an instructor, so you get something that will work for you, that fits your hand size, that doesn't have too much recoil depending on your body type, and get something that is useful and learn how to use it and become proficient with it. And why do we do that? So if a bad guy comes into our life and wants to seriously harm us or kill us or a family member, we've got something to fight back with. And the police are absolutely great. They do an outstanding job. But you know what? They can't be every place when they are needed to stop crimes. If they could, our crime rate would be zero, and we know that's not the case. Typically, police get a phone call after something has happened or as it is happening. They rarely, I won't say it's impossible, but rarely do they get there to prevent a crime from happening. It's typically after the fact. So, if you love your family and you want to provide for them and protect them, then obviously we need the proper training and the proper equipment that we can protect them at the times that the police are not there.
For the hunter out there hunting once a year that uses their equipments and firearms once a year. Shouldn't they get some type of training? And how about cleaning of your guns? How often should you do that?
Well, you need to clean the guns every time you shoot it. Every time, that doesn't mean that you shoot a round and clean it, shoot another round and clean it. But when you take it out and you're shooting for whatever period of that time that is, for that day or the next day, and the gun is going to be placed in storage longer than a few more days, then you need to clean the firearm and get all that stuff out of the barrel. If you don't, it will start pitting over a period of time and rusting. So, take pride in what you have, and if you use it, clean it.
Has the technology of guns changed the last 20 or 30 years, or is it always evolving?
Well, not really. I mean, it is to some degree when you're looking at the materials that firearms are made out of. You're seeing a whole lot more today manufactured in part from polymers, where in the older days it was typically an all-metal firearm. Yeah, so that type of chemistry evolution has worked its way into several different industries, firearms being one of them. And so what's the benefit of that? Well, it's fairly strong material, and it makes it lighter. So it's not a big deal with handguns, although we see a lot of handguns, a lot of Glocks, some of the Springfields, and different parts of different, even the all-metal guns. Some of the other parts, like the grips, this type of thing, are all can be made from different types of polymers. When it's introduced in a military situation with their rifles and machine guns, is that it makes them lighter, to carry out on the battlefield. So you're not strapping down a guy with a 14 or 15 pound weapon and all of his ammo. It doesn't sound like much until you have to carry it 10 miles. Then it sounds like a lot. So anytime you can lighten up something like that, it becomes better for the troop. That's where we've probably seen most of the advancement.
Indoor shooting range, firearm sales, professional training, open 7 days a week. Google the Marksman and Newport News, Criminal Justice and Security Institute. The Marksman, the owner, George McClain. Phone number 872-4130. Great staff, always on standby to help all the customers' needs. Correct?
Absolutely. We're there for you. If you have a problem, you have a question, give us a call. We'll try our best to take care of you on the phone. We are not a high pressure organization. You come in there, we're not beating you on the head saying buy this gun. It means more to us to work with you and get you into the right handgun versus just selling you any old gun.
Family atmosphere, of course, as well.
Absolutely, that's what it's all about. We're close. We got sons and sister-in-laws and brother-in-laws working there. So we're there as a family. We know the importance of family. So it means a lot to us to have a happy customer and to have you join our family of customers. So that's what we strive to do. And while we may not be successful 100% of the time of making everybody happy, sometimes when you're dealing with firearms, or we get some folks that you don't understand the law and they want to do things a certain way, and we don't have the option. We have to follow what the law is. That's a federal firearms license that I hold for that business, and it requires that I do things in a certain way. And even at that point, we try to educate the customer what those are, and occasionally we just get someone who's adamant against or about believing that that's what the situation is. So the old adage that you can't please 100% of the people 100% of the time is true, but we certainly try to do just that.
Well, George, all the best. Professional organization right there, the Marksman and Newport News. Folks, protect your family. Help your mother, your father, your wife, your girlfriend, sister, brother, or kids learn about gun safety and protocol. George, all the best to you and your staff.
Thank you, Greg. I appreciate it. You take care.
My pleasure. All right, right there, George McClain, owner, general manager, firearms instructor for the Marksman, and Joe Daniel right there. You heard it. It's something that a lot of people are doing now, is doing more and more to protect their family the right way.
Absolutely, and I 100% agree with him. It's the safety. We can't just make laws or pass bills and try to just take a back seat and just say these laws will protect me. I think it's every person's responsibility to stay vigilant, keep your eyes open, make sure you are aware of your surroundings. If something doesn't look right, report it, and just being a little bit more aware of your surroundings, being more vigilant, and not just saying our government's going to take care of it and I can just sit back.
Like out inside the lobby right now, you always want to be vigilant. You never know, right? Exactly.
Precisely.
All right, our good friends at Outback Steakhouse at Kempsville Drive, 1255 Fordham Drive. Go by and see Mike and the great staff. Take advantage of that curbside menu if you have to. Great appetizers, soups, and salads as well to start off your meal. Signature steaks as well, like the ribeye, the Melbourne steak mate, surf and turf, freshly made potatoes and sides, chicken, ribs, chops, and more straight from the sea. Outback Steakhouse, great desserts as well. They have a Dine Rewards program too. For more, log on to outback.com. Give them a call. Their phone number is 523-4832. The premier steakhouse in Virginia Beach, Outback Steakhouse in Kempsville at 1255 Fordham Drive. Let's get to what teased me off.
What tees you off? Presented by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com.
And by CP Shuckers with locations on Shore Drive and Pacific Avenue. Watch postseason baseball in the NFL right there on the big screens and get some delicious food at CP Shuckers. All right, what teased me off, Joe Daniel? Having to talk about someone on TV you can't stand. Or radio.
Or, just talking about somebody you can't stand in general. You don't even want to think about it, and then you have to actually get into details about it. Yeah.
Of course, we have fun with this. Of course, climbing up a lot of stairs continuously. I'm talking about over 100 flights of stairs.
Oh, yeah. Put in an escalator. An elevator, at least,
How about this? When you have people that like to force their agenda, their thoughts on you and remind you of it all the time.
Yeah, welcome to mainstream media, I guess.
Or just people in general.
Yeah.
How about this? This is really funny the other day, but it's almost kind of awkward. I was in a restaurant, and you know how these restaurants have these phony names for men and women on the bathroom doors?
Oh, yeah.
And this one senior citizen stood there for 5 minutes looking perplexed what door to open because it didn't say basically men and women except for small print. So you had to get the manager to say, which door is it?
Yeah, there's no figure. There's no silhouette of the body type, because sometimes they do that. They have a theme, and so they use words that are fulfill that theme. But I think you at least need to include that silhouette of either a male figure or the typical female figure to make it easy.
It was there. It just wasn't front and center for this gentleman as well. How about this? One thing is to say it and spray it like we talked about last week. How about talking with food in your mouth and trying to make a point?
Man, my wife, she won't say anything. She's a sweetheart. But she will, inside of her blood will begin to boil, and she cannot handle mouth noises in general. So just the idea of somebody chewing with their mouth open and then talking to you, and then it's just swishing around in their mouth and you can see it. Horrible.
We've talked to people here over the years that if they don't drink water, you can hear the dryness of their mouth on the air even.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to stay hydrated, folks. And even when the rule of thumb is even when you're not thirsty, drink water.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated. How about this? What else teased me off, of course? Stuck behind on the interstate on one of these trucks that have all these logs attached to them. And you're wondering,
I'm so scared of
that.
that.
Or the overload trucks like I ran into a few weeks ago. I took a picture of it, and this guy had everything on his truck except for his house, for God's sake.
Sometimes they do move their whole home. It's scary. Like I don't like driving behind it. I don't think anything's going to happen, but you never know when something's going to fly up, and it's quick. You won't have the reaction time, but I always try to get by that truck as soon as possible. It kind of freaks me out a little bit driving behind. Or something with rocks, too. One of those rocks gets picked up and then smashes in your windshield. Yeah, not good.
All right, we're going to have the Star Wars trailer for you next week. We're going to play that next week right here on Sports Scene. Don't forget the Star Wars trailer, the audio next week. So stay tuned for that. Joe Daniel flagged that as well. Last thing that teased me off is people that are constantly pacing up and down. Again, at a restaurant recently, sitting down with some friends, and there was a hostess there that was bored out of his mind, walked behind us 50 times. He could not sit at his station.
I'm like that too, where I always need to be moving. So when I'm on the phone, I'm always pacing. I can't just sit in a stationary place. I always have to be moving. But I don't know. I'm one of those. Sorry if I tee you off, but I'm a mover. I always need to be moving, especially when I'm on my phone. Just something that I need to do. But you also need to be very conscious of it, because obviously a hostess or a host needs to make sure that they're not being, I don't know, like a helicoptering kind of, and making their customers uncomfortable. They're there to enjoy, and so just being aware that you're not interfering with somebody else's experience or atmosphere.
All right, don't forget, again, Sunday at 1 o'clock on Fox, it's the 49ers and the Redskins. Redskins were idle last week. Of course, big baseball going on. We already know the Astros and the Dodgers are in the postseason from the American League and the National League already for the championship round. We still have Cleveland and the Yankees, and, of course, the Cubs as well, and the Nationals. My gut feeling is the Cubs will win and Cleveland will win. My heart wants the Yankees to win. I always stay neutral, but, of course, the Yankees will be a great draw. The Yankees and the Dodgers will be the perfect draw for Fox, the number 1 and 2 TV markets in the country. The Yankees and the Dodgers. Will it happen? We'll wait and see, and we'll find out. Well, thanks for being part of the Sports Scene today. For more, go to gjbtv.com, hit the YouTube link. As well, Greg Bick on Twitter, GregBic. Go to my website again, gjbtv.com, for all my Twitter handles on the contact section. All powered by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Browse, shop, and visit. And don't forget, November the 9th, we're going to announce the first 5 winners of the Hampton Roads Sports Media Hall of Fame. For Joe Daniel, I'm Greg Bicouvaris. Enjoy the nice weather, and we'll talk to you soon.
AM 1650 WHKT Portsmouth, 92.5 FM W223CT Norfolk. For your daily supply of news and talk, we are The Answer.